Today we're diving into 15 of the most played games on Nintendo's new system, Switch 2. Some of them push the hardware in new ways, others bring back familiar faces with a fresh twist. Either way, they're all seeing serious playtime right now. So let's not waste any more time. Here are the top 15 most played games on Switch 2. First up, Mario Kart World. This one launched right alongside the Switch 2, and honestly, it's exactly what you'd hope for. Bigger, faster, and way more connected. Nintendo's going full open world with this thing, letting you race across massive city-based maps like Tokyo and Paris instead of just looping tracks. It's still very much Mario Kart, drifting, shells, chaos. But now with 24-player online races, dynamic weather, and even some exploration between matches. Character customization goes deeper than ever, and the new kart parts actually matter for how you race. Plus, the netcode, surprisingly solid this time around. It's got all the charm and chaos you expect, but with a fresh coat of paint that makes it feel like a true next-gen Mario Kart. Easily one of the most played games on Switch 2 right now, and for good reason. Next up, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This game was already a masterpiece on the original Switch, but on Switch 2, it hits different. The improved hardware brings smoother frame rates, sharper visuals, and faster load times, which makes exploring Hyrule, and the skies above it, even more immersive. You're still crafting wild contraptions, solving clever puzzles, and diving into dungeons, but now everything feels more seamless. Link's new abilities really open up creative possibilities, and the verticality of the world adds a whole new layer to exploration. Whether you're gliding from sky islands or fusing weapons mid-fight, there's always something surprising around the corner. It's the kind of game you can lose dozens of hours in without even realizing. Easily one of the most played titles on Switch 2, and it totally deserves that spot. Now let's talk about The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It might be a 2017 game, but on Switch 2, it's been reborn. With upgraded resolution and frame rate, everything from the sweeping landscapes to the tiniest Korok puzzles feels smoother and more vibrant. This version doesn't add anything drastically new, but it doesn't need to. The freedom, the exploration, the way the systems interact with each other, it's still unmatched. Whether you're shield surfing down a mountain or just setting things on fire to see what happens, it never gets old. The Switch 2 version also benefits from faster loading, which makes warping around Hyrule way less of a chore. It's the kind of game that still sparks conversations years after launch. And judging by how many people are diving back in, Breath of the Wild is still very much a must-play on Switch 2. Moving on, Cyberpunk 2077. Yep, it's finally running great on a Nintendo system, and Switch 2 actually handles it shockingly well. This version includes all the updates, the Phantom Liberty expansion, and the overhauled systems that fixed most of what went wrong at launch. Night City feels alive, dense, and stylish as ever, and on Switch 2, the improved performance makes a huge difference in gunfights and driving. The RPG mechanics are deeper now, builds matter more, and enemy AI doesn't feel like cardboard anymore. Whether you're hacking cameras from across the street or going full guns blazing with a shotgun, the game actually responds the way it should. It's a dark, gritty world with tons of freedom, and now you can experience it on the go, but with that next-gen feel. Honestly, seeing Cyberpunk in the top charts on Switch 2 isn't just surprising, it's kinda satisfying. Next up, Split Fiction. This one's from Hazelight Studios. Yeah, the folks behind It Takes Two, and it's just as imaginative and chaotic as you'd expect. The concept? Two writers get sucked into the worlds of their own books. One fantasy, one sci-fi, and you jump between them constantly. That means one moment you're riding a dragon, the next you're blasting robots on a space station. It's got that same co-op focused energy, filled with clever level design and constantly changing gameplay mechanics that never let you get bored. Visually, it pops. Each world has a distinct style, and the transitions between them are super slick. Whether you're playing solo with an AI partner or teaming up with a friend, the pacing is tight and full of surprises. If you liked It Takes Two, there's a good chance you'll love this. Now let's talk Donkey Kong Bananza. This one feels like a true evolution of the Donkey Kong formula. Instead of the usual side-scrolling setup, Bananza goes full 3D platformer. Think Super Mario Odyssey, but with a whole lot more bananas and beatdowns. The environments are lush and packed with secrets, from jungle canopies to underground ruins, and the traversal is buttery smooth. DK's moveset has been expanded big time, with new swinging, climbing, and ground-pound mechanics that make exploration super satisfying. You're also not alone. Diddy, Dixie, and even Cranky show up as playable companions in different sections. Visually, it's one of the best-looking games on Switch 2 so far, full of vibrant detail and personality. It's been topping sales charts since launch, and for fans of classic Nintendo adventures, this one delivers big. Up next, Street Fighter VI. Capcom really nailed it with this one, and the Switch 2 version holds its own surprisingly well. You get the full experience, the complete roster, World Tour mode, crisp visuals, and most importantly, that tight, responsive combat the series is known for. It runs smoothly, online matches are stable, and the visual clarity is sharp enough to keep up with the action. The control options are flexible too, so whether you're a competitive player or just mashing buttons with friends, it feels great. World Tour is still a weird but fun addition, like an RPG stitched into a fighting game, and the character creator adds some extra chaos. Seeing a game this polished and deep on a Nintendo platform is wild. It's one of the top fighters on the system, and for good reason. If you're even remotely into fighting games, this one's a no-brainer. Next, No Man's Sky. This game's had one of the biggest comebacks in gaming, and on Switch 2, it finally feels right at home. You're dropped into a massive, procedurally generated universe with endless planets to explore. And here, the load times are snappy, the visuals are sharper, and the frame rate holds steady even in busy space battles or dense planetary environments. Base building, space trading, dogfights, multiplayer, it's all here, and it actually runs great. Hello Games has packed years of updates into this version, so you're getting the full package, including VR missions, freighters, expeditions, and more. Whether you want to explore alone or link up with friends, the sense of freedom is unmatched. It's the kind of game that can quietly consume your nights if you let it. On Switch 2, it finally feels like the vast, living galaxy it was always meant to be. Next up, Super Mario Party Jamboree. This one's a big step up for the Mario Party series, and on Switch 2, it absolutely shines. With over 100 mini-games, 5 massive boards, and a 20-player online tournament mode, it's the most content-packed entry yet. The visuals are crisp, the animations are smooth, and the loading between turns has been seriously cut down, which is a lifesaver if you're playing with friends. The mini-games are more creative this time too, using unique mechanics that feel made for both casuals and longtime fans. What really stands out though is how smooth the online play is now. Nintendo finally got it right. Whether you're going for chaos with friends or trying to survive the CPU on hard mode, every match feels fresh. It's easily one of the most played party games on Switch 2, and for good reason. It actually delivers on the fun, without the usual online headaches. Now let's talk about Deltarune. Toby Fox's quirky RPG continues to charm players, and on Switch 2, it's found a whole new wave of attention. The performance is buttery smooth, with faster transitions between battles, crisp pixel art, and improved audio clarity that makes the soundtrack hit even harder. Chapters 1 and 2 are still free, but with new updates on the way, a lot of players are jumping back in to revisit the story and characters. The writing is as witty and heartfelt as ever, and the battle system, with its mix of bullet dodging and turn-based combat, still feels fresh. Whether you're exploring dark corridors or laughing at weird dialogue choices, Deltarune knows how to keep things weird in the best way. It's not a huge game in size, but its community is massive, and Switch 2 players are keeping it high on the most played charts. Next, Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess. This one's from Capcom, and it's easily one of the most visually striking games on Switch 2 right now. Set in a mystical version of Japan, it blends real-time strategy with stylish action in a way that feels totally unique. You play as So, a warrior protecting a divine maiden as you fight off corrupted spirits, clear villages, and plan defenses, all in one seamless flow. The combat is rhythmic and graceful, almost like a dance, and the art direction? Just stunning. Every frame looks like a moving painting, with bold colors and brushstroke-like effects that stand out on the Switch 2's upgraded screen. It's not your typical hack and slash. You actually have to think and react fast. That blend of beauty and brains has helped it build a strong player base, and it's quickly become one of the more talked-about titles on the platform. Now we've got Bravely Default Flying Fairy. Originally a cult classic on 3DS, this updated version on Switch 2 feels like a proper revival. The revamped visuals look clean and detailed, with smooth character animations and enhanced environments that really elevate the classic turn-based JRPG style. The signature Brave and Default system still offers that addictive risk-reward mechanic in combat. Storing turns to unleash devastating combos never gets old. The story leans into classic fantasy tropes, but the characters are charming, and the voice acting adds a lot of personality. On Switch 2, load times are nearly gone, battles flow faster, and everything just feels more polished. It's a nostalgia hit for longtime fans, but also a great entry point for newcomers who missed it the first time. It may not be the flashiest game in the lineup, but its strategic depth and classic JRPG feel have kept players coming back. Next up, Yakuza 0. It's wild seeing this legendary game finally running on a Nintendo platform, and even better, Switch 2 handles it like a champ. The streets of Tokyo and Osaka look sharp, the frame rate holds steady even during intense brawls, and the load times are dramatically shorter than older versions. This prequel story is one of the best in the Yakuza series, diving deep into the origins of Kazuma Kiryu and Goro Majima. One minute you're punching through crowds in a street fight, the next you're singing karaoke or managing a cabaret club, and somehow it all works. The storytelling is emotional, over the top, and surprisingly heartfelt, and the side quests are just as entertaining as the main story. It's no surprise that it's climbing the most played charts on Switch 2. If you've never played a Yakuza game before, this is still the perfect place to start. Now let's talk about Hogwarts Legacy. This massive open-world RPG finally gets the performance it deserves on Switch 2. The improved hardware smooths out the frame rate, sharpens the visuals, and cuts down those long loading screens that held back the original Switch version. Roaming the halls of Hogwarts, flying over the countryside on a broom, and battling dark wizards all feel way more immersive now. The game drops you into a fully realized 1800s wizarding world, letting you attend classes, brew potions, tame magical beasts, and uncover a mystery tied to ancient magic. The spellcasting feels snappy, the combat is more engaging than you'd expect, and there's a ton of content to explore. It's not a perfect game. The writing can be a bit flat, but the fantasy immersion hits hard.
Was trying to beat him at his own game.
I like it! Do more of it!
Next up, Fantasy Life. This is the kind of cozy RPG that quietly pulls you in and doesn't let go. Built around a mix of town building, combat, and life simulation, it drops you onto a mysterious island where time travel plays a major role. You're switching between the present and the past, rebuilding villages, solving mysteries, and taking on different roles, from mage to miner, all in a charming world that's constantly changing. The visuals are bright and clean, and everything runs super smooth thanks to the newer hardware. What really makes it stick, though, is how every little action, chopping wood, fishing, crafting gear, feeds back into your progress in meaningful ways. It's the kind of game that sounds simple on paper, but hours later, you're still saying, just one more quest. It's quickly become a fan favorite on this system, and it totally makes sense. And that's our list of the most played games on Switch 2 right now. These aren't just great games, they're the ones people are sinking hours into every single day. If you've been wondering what's worth checking out on Nintendo's new system, this list should give you a solid start. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in our next list.